if you want to keep warm this winter, you have to keep quiet. This is the warning made by Vladimir Putin with the utmost clarity to the Europeans in the last few days. These are not the exact words that the Russian leader has used, but it is the content of its blackmail. You are dependent upon me to keep warm this winter. So you can't go on criticizing what I am and what I'm doing. Russia will not allow it. Will not allow it. I don't think we have seen in recent years such a clarity in blackmailing another continent. And this is what Russia is doing to us Europeans. And this is what we have allowed Russia to do to us. And the reason is clear: lack of unity, lack of clarity, lack of firmness. We should start at least with a clear-cut energy policy that would combine a mix of nuclear energy and renewable energy. But can the Europeans, all of them, even the Germans, be convinced that a polluting energy can be an energy that makes you totally dependent from an authoritarian regime? Unfortunately, it is going to be a very difficult process. How can you convince other Europeans that in order to be free politically, they cannot depend upon a totalitarian country? And this is the problem of the nuclear energy. It frees you geopolitically, but it is a taboo that you don't want to confront when it comes to your public opinion. The second test, I think, of our relationship with Russia goes much beyond energy. And it is an exercise, again, in lucidity, in clarity. The present reminds me very much of what happened in 1989 at the time of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Remember what happened. The West declared victory. We had won. It was, to quote Francis Fukuyama, the end of history. Liberal Western democracy was going to reign all over the planet. It was wrong. What we saw in 1989 and between 1989 and 1991 was not the triumph of the West, but the collapse of the Soviet Union. And today, authoritarian regimes from China to Russia are repeating the same mistake the West did 30 years ago. What we are witnessing is not the victory of China and Russia. It is not the victory of authoritarian models versus pluralistic democratic models. It is the fact that we are confronted with a severe identity crisis in the Western democracies, starting with the United States of America. But here again, we should not confuse our crisis with their victory. And the third point, which I think we have to make to Russia, is not only we don't accept your blackmail, not only you should not define what's going on as a clear-cut victory for you, but we should turn our eyes to Russia and tell Vladimir Putin, you are making a lot of great tactical moves, but strategically speaking, you are deeply wrong. What is threatening you is not the West. The only threat for you comes from China. Do you want to be the weak junior partner of China? Is that your goal in life? If this is not the case, your destiny is to be aligned with the West to balance the giant in the East. But this is in the interest of Russia. This is probably not in the interest of Putin's regime. So these are the 3 points I wanted to make by emphasizing uh, the fact that we cannot allow ourselves to be blackmailed by Russia. We cannot let Russia say that this is their victory time, and we have to emphasize to Moscow that they are wrong in their choice of strategy.